and we have our first tiers here on the channel explaining and ranking the different body types and how attractive they are to women, especially in school, which is what I'm in, on a scale from ick to bazinga. Bazinga obviously being the most attractive, hot being very attractive, I get it being decently attractive, I'll hear you out being maybe not, and then the ick being obviously the ick. Now, we got a bunch of different body types here, and ranging from the skinniest of skinny to the fattest of fat. If you want more of these videos of tier lists, because I know they're very sought after, let me know in the comments. I'll make sure to do more. I'll do whatever you guys want me to do. Let's get straight into this without any more yapping. So the first one is the most typical skinny body build. Most fucking like athletic kids in the school have this sort of physique, and it's basically from not hitting the weights, but not eating that much, so you just kind of get this skinny physique. Now, I gotta admit, this doesn't really affect your chances with getting girls in school at all. They don't really care that much if you're skinny. As long as you aren't really skinny, you still look healthy, you're skinny, probably shows that you're active and whatnot, that you don't stuff your fat fucking face. It's between this, because I can't say it's hot because it's just skinny, you know? I get it. I get why they're attracted to it, you know, the girls. Next is the really skinny motherfucker. Now, this obviously isn't as common, but it is certainly a thing, because these are the kids that they can't sit still. They barely eat, and they just look unhealthy. And out of all of these bodies, I think this is the skinniest one. So I think we're going to have a problem here. Some women, you know, they might not really mind this, but I think a lot of girls, it'll start to give them the ick. Because when you're really skinny, it shows you're weak. It just shows that you look so weird in clothes. You're kind of like an alien. I'm going to be honest, in terms of what I see, the really, really skinny boys, they kind of give the ick, unfortunately. Now, the next physique, it's a little hard to see, but it's kind of like this middle ground physique between being really cut and having muscle. This is kind of the starting spot for a lot of kids that lift in school. This is kind of what a lot of them look like. They might have some muscle, but their frame's still kind of small overall, and they don't have that much. And in terms of like the female gaze, this really works well, because I don't know if girls this age really like dad bods or fucking really, really like skinny, obviously, or just, you know, just too muscular. It's not the body that most men strive for. It's really not that great. It's just a good starting point. So I think this, I get it, but it's better than that one for sure. Next is kind of like a step below the other one in terms of leanness. You know, they have kind of similar muscle mass, but one is just leaner than the other. It doesn't really change too much. It's just you're skinnier, have more abs, you know. These girls aren't going to really see your abs through your shirt, you know. So I don't know. I think the other one is a little healthier, though. I think it is just a better overall structure, but it's definitely not as bad as the X. So I'll just go hear you out, all right? This one is the step above the I get it one right here. This is like a little more muscle and just a little more fluff. I think it's better than the other one because it's just more muscle, and even with the added fluff, it doesn't really do too much. Now, I wish we could see the faces as well, because face also matters, but in terms of body, these girls, you know, they won't really mind it. I think this can go at the top of I get it, almost on the verge of hot, but it just isn't good enough in my opinion. This is where we get in better territory. This is now noticeably, you know, pumped. They noticeably go to the gym. It's obvious. And especially with this guy, his chest is really, it has some good genetics. Not that much muscle, but it's just the fact that it's just enough muscle and a good amount of leanness, like the balance, to the point where girls will definitely consider this hot. This is like the jock in school, but also kind of does a little more than just a sport in high school. Probably like some lifting or some calisthenics at home, and now they got a hot physique. Next is basically the skinny fucking physique again, but with better starting genetics, because the ick one here is just really skinny and there's really no muscle, and it looks very unhealthy. This is also unhealthy as fuck, but the genetics for muscle building look better. Like the shoulders more capped, and it's kind of like David Lade, 13-year-old David Lade look right here with the whole shoulders and shit. This shows that, you know, you have good genetics for getting an aesthetic physique, but you just haven't even started yet. This is on the skinny side, so I'll put a hair you out. It's similar to this one, but with even less muscle. So, not all that. This one, most people won't even achieve in high school. So we'll just kind of, this is more of like the college kind of thing, because that's still considered school. So this is what guys can look like in college if they live for a few years, especially since high school. And this is like, I think out of all these physiques, this might be the best for female gaze. I'm not even going to cap, because all the other ones, judging from what we can see, there's a con with each one of them. But this one, this is like a really good natty physique. There's no complaints here. Noticeable muscle development, very good leanness. This guy's an 8-pack. The 8-pack is clearly visible, and women will love this shit, especially when you take your shirt off at the beach. Yes, this is the top of the top here. This is Bazinga. Fuck. Now we go back to the bad shit again. This is just fucking dad bod, but with muscle though. This is like a dad bod with muscle because this guy, you can tell by his arms that he got some size on him. He's definitely muscular. There's no question. But he also has a shit diet and eats a shit ton. So he lifts probably a lot, but he also eats a lot. So you just kind of get this really bulky look. This is like a powerlifter look. I'm in cap. They say, oh, dad bod physiques are the shit. They're just capping, man. Like, what is this shit with the whole dad bod thing? And a lot of people don't even really know what a dad bod truly is. People think, oh, if you got a little pouch and you're just kind of bulky that you're dad bod. No, dad bod is like an actual dad bod. And this one right here isn't even like that fat. It is fat, but it's not like the stomach's poking out so crazily. It's just a little dad bod. It's like there's a lot of fluff. But the muscle, the amount of muscle he has really makes up for it. So older women might find more comfort in this, but in terms of women in high school and college, this ain't it. This is like, I get it though, because he does have a lot of muscle, but it's too much though. It's like, I'll hear you out. This one is like, it reminds me of another one. It reminds me of this one, but with a little more muscle. So as I said earlier, I think this is definitely a healthy physique. It's not the most aesthetic though, because there's some fluff, but this is what some guys would say dad bod. This is not dad bod at all. This guy's noticeably fit. He just has a little extra body fat percentage. He's in the high teens, maybe 20, which is fine, but he just can't bulk for too much longer because then he'll start spilling over. So this will definitely be like, it might even be considered hot because it's not even, it's kind of, it might be hot, honestly, but definitely not like the other one. Because if this guy right here dieted down, he would look like this guy. Because see how much, like, this guy might even have more muscle, but he just looks more hot for female gaze, of course. But if this guy cut down, he would look very similar to this. And that was, and that's when he would be even hotter. But he still, I guess, hot. Because this is, girls don't mind a little bit of girls don't mind 20% body fat. Come on. Next is like the really muscular, natty physique, probably sauced up a little bit. Now this guy right here, this is the reason why I think this guy's a better physique is because this guy probably might be on the sauce, or he's been lifting for like 15 years at least, and he's like really peak natty and he has very good genetics, but it's kind of, it's crossing the line. It comes off as like, I don't know, it might be just a tiny bit too much, but it also really shows masculinity with having this much. So I think it's still hot though. No, Bazinga even, because it's just, it still looks really good. There's no question that these girls in, their 20s, their prime age, late teens, there's no doubt they'll fucking really like this, especially if he wears a tight shirt or a wife beater. It'll look really noticeable. And then this one, I have no fucking words, bro. Oh god, such a rough situation to be in. I just don't get how you let yourself get to this point. But anyways, this is like the worst out of all of these. It's the worst one because there's zero muscle and there's a ton of fat. A ton. It's literally just like an avalanche of fat just facing downwards. You can just see it, like it's the rolls, and yeah, that's just, no girl is gonna want that. None. Not even older woman. Not even, the only one that will are other fat ass women. But who wants that? This is where looks matching comes in. Usually when you're, let's say, a 3 in terms of looks, you'll attract another 3 of the opposite gender. That's just how it is in the black-pilled world. Now, this one is like, this one just looks kind of gross in a way because the abs, they look way too long. Like his torso looks way too long. And he's shredded though, and he has a lot of muscle. Like if his abs weren't so weird, or if his torso wasn't so long, then it would go in Bazinga. But it just, something looks off with this. But in terms of shreds and muscle mass, it's really good. So I'm just gonna put it in hot. But here's the final rankings of the male body tier list, going from Bazinga to hot. I get it. To I'll hear you out to it. Let me know in the comments if you agree with this or not, or if you enjoy these tier lists. If you do, I'll definitely make sure to do more because there's a ton of different tier lists I can do. I won't run out of ideas for fucking months. I think these rankings are pretty fucking accurate with these young girls, But there it is. See ya.